You're listening to the Superpower Podcast, Superpower Kids Edition, where author, philanthropist, and Superpower Kids founder Neva Lee Rekla inspires kids to discover their superpowers and change the world.
Hi kids, this is your superpower kid, Neva Lee Rekla. And today we have on our show a very, very awesome guest, Christine Grant. And we met at New Media Summit, and she's the author of Be Friendship Focused, and she made A to Z Power Card, the A to Z Power Card deck. And today we're going to be talking with Christine about the amazing power of friendship, how to let your inner BFF shine. So without further ado, will you help us welcome our very awesome guest, Christine Grant. Hi, Christine.
Hi, Neva. Hey, is that Jackson?
Yep.
Wow. Hi, Jackson. So thank you for having me on today. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you. We are.
And I know that you mentioned the Be Friendship Focus program, which is all about empowerment. And the A to Z Power Cards, that's about empowerment too. And how those cards came about is my daughter and I did them together when she was 12. And we just, did all those little paintings together and came up with some of the words and the power behind the words. So, so that was kind of a cool thing. One of the things, what I talk about, what I help people with, no matter what age, is how to feel self-empowered. And sometimes some people that are not feeling very powerful try to grab your power from you. And people call it bullying, okay? And that's all it is. They're not more powerful than anyone else. In fact, if you were to go inside a bully's heart, you would see that they're very sad often or frustrated, and they don't feel like people really understand them or care. So that's kind of where I come from, is like, hey, everybody can feel powerful, right?
Yeah. So, I think Murphy has the first question for you. So, what are your superpowers?
Okay. My superpower is, one of the best superpowers I have is confidence. If you feel like you like yourself and you feel like, no matter what someone might say about you or think about you or say to you, or the way they might treat you, if you really, really like yourself and accept yourself, then you are confident. So that's one of the biggest powers I have and it took me a while to grow that skill and that power, because the powers have to grow. Can I tell you a story about, okay. I worked in schools for many years with students of all ages, from preschool to high school. And one of the most memorable days was when I was asked to check with a young boy. He was 6 years old in the first grade, and I'll just call him Ben. And Ben was disliked by not only the kids, but his teacher would roll her eyes when she would talk about him. You ever seen somebody do the eye roll thing? Yeah.
Oh, no.
And so I went to observe Ben in his classroom. And you know what? He was kind of a terror. He was teasing the girls. He was playing practical jokes. He wasn't being very respectful of the teacher. He was running around the classroom. He was kind of out of control. Then when recess came, he was out of control there too. So I brought him into my office to talk to him. And I asked him, so who is your friend? And you know what? Little Ben burst into tears. And he said, I don't have any friends. All the kids hate me. And I don't know why, because I really want to have friends. And my mommy and daddy are so angry with me because I don't get the good grades. He wasn't paying enough attention, obviously, in school. So I told him I had 5 powers, and I had given 3 of them away already in my life. But I had 2 more powers, the power to change someone. And he said, oh my gosh, please, can I have the power? I said, you know what, Ben? I kind of like you. I see a glow inside of you. And I would love to give you one of my powers. Okay, stand up, close your eyes, start spinning around. And I took my magic wand out of the invisible world and said, twizzle, twazzle, twizzle. And then I went, oh, wait a second, Ben, I forgot something. Before I can give you my power, you have to also earn it. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, the power grows every day that you do something kind for someone else. And we thought about what he could do, like help his teacher, put the supplies away, maybe share a toy with one of his classmates, or ask somebody that seems lonely if they'd like to have lunch, and even tell his parents that he's trying to learn better, because he was actually a very bright, smart boy. And so he said, I really, really, really want the power. I said, perfect. Are you ready to let it grow? Because it may take some weeks before everyone else catches on just how truly powerful you are. He said, I'm in. Okay, then. So close your eyes, spin around, and I did twizzle, twazzle, twizzle, twone. You are now empowered. Da-da-da. So he said, oh, my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, I feel it. I'm feeling the power. And then he said, would you please be my friend? And I don't know if you ever remember seeing The Wizard of Oz. Do you remember?
Oh, I've seen it.
Remember Glinda up in the bubble, the pretty one?
Yeah.
So I pretended I was Glinda, and I just said, Ben, I already am your friend. And he said, thank you. And he was just jumping up and down for joy, and he skipped away, so happy. So what I'm trying to share with you, Neva, and your audience, is how we think about ourselves.
Exactly.
And also how we share with others, like doing nice things for other people actually makes our power grow, because then we become like a magnet. And people go, wow, that's Ben. He does all these great things for others. He doesn't just sit around thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this. I'm not. He says, no. He says, I'm going to focus on someone else, and I'm going to become more powerful. Because when we do things that are kind towards others, who feels good?
You.
Yeah, we feel good, right? And that's one of the treasures we have of being, human, is we have the
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Can I share a quick story, and then I think we might have to take a quick break?
I would love it. Yes.
Okay. So my mom and my dog and I were at this park, and I met this little boy and his sister and their dog.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking on the swings. And my dog was a little bit bigger than his dog, and my dog's a toy schnauzer, so they were really tiny dogs. And he said to me, if your dog bit my dog, I would just hit him. And my dog's a girl, but I went, you don't hit my dog. Never. No one ever hits my dog. And then he's like, well, would she bite me? I'm like, no, she's very friendly. But she would bite you if you're playing. And then that's one of the first times I ever stood in my power. And I was like bragging about it for weeks. And it's normally my mom saying, well, you chose to get intimidated. But no, this time it was, well, he chose to get intimidated.
Mm-hmm. And isn't it interesting how when your dog was threatened, you stood up, right?
Oh, no one messes with my dog.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's kind of like a term some people use, but a lot of people feel like inside us is kind of our part of our heart or our soul is what they call the inner child. And so just like your mother would and daddy would never let anyone hurt you, if you can also tap into, I have a child within me and no one's going to take advantage, disrespect, or hurt that inner me. And that's kind of a different way of looking at it. But just like you protected your pet, you also stand up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm proud of you, though. That's a great story.
Yeah. Anytime my dog gets thrown into the mix, I'm like, if you, like, I swear, if someone hit my dog, they'd have to run for their lives.
I call that the mama bear in you.
Yeah. I'm like a mama bear to my dog. And actually, I have another quick little story that I want to share. So, okay, well, first I have to take a break, and then I will share the story.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, see you soon. Okay.
All right. We'll be right back. We've been talking with Christine Grant about the amazing power of friendship, how to let your inner BFF shine.
Are you here to change the world? Do you talk about things like vibration, frequency, awakening, and consciousness? Are you pretty sure you have superpowers? The Superpower Net is unlike normal coaching programs and conscious communities. We provide training, intuitive guidance, peer-to-peer learning, intensive one-on-one coaching, and a high vibrational network of people just like you. When you join the net, you get 24/7 access to a collaborative group of people who support you as you master your personal power and unlock your superpowers. If you're ready to use your superpowers to change the world, then join the Superpower Net today. Visit superpowerexperts.com/thenet to learn more.
Okay, we're back, and we've been talking with Christine Grant about the amazing power of friendship, how to let your inner BFF shine. So I'm going to share my story. And so I was in Colorado, and I was like 5. And there was our neighbor who lived in the apartment above us, and he was like 12. And we were walking my dog around one of the big trees in our neighborhood. And out of the ordinary, he just slaps her on the back. Wow. And I go, no. And he literally doesn't know who he's messing with when he hits my dog. And I was thinking to myself, how does he treat his dogs then? Mm-hmm. Because he had 2 big dogs of his own. I was thinking, I feel bad for those dogs. And, but I always stand up for my dog because no one messes with her.
Did you ever know how he did treat his dogs, or?
Not really. He was like polite. Like I always saw his sister taking care of the dogs. So, but I know for sure his life is his life, but don't mess with my life.
So I would assume, so I don't ever like to quote judge anyone else, but just from that story, I wouldn't be surprised if that boy doesn't feel very powerful himself.
He probably didn't.
Exactly.
He probably didn't.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's really important that you help someone if they're in need. I feel, because like you were saying earlier, be nice to people. Go sit with them if they're lonely at lunch. And I don't really do that because I'm homeschooled, so my school is my home. And so, but one time my parents and I went to Burning Man last year. And there was, and I stood up for my friend. Well, I stood up for my friend once, and then I stood up for this little boy. And So can I share the stories really fast?
Oh, please, yes.
Okay. So the first story I'll share about my friend. So I'll call her B. So we're on the trampoline at Burning Man, and she was going to do a front flip, but these two boys were in the way. And this is kind of like a funny slash story. But then they said, just do a front flip. She's like, no, I don't want to hurt you. They're like, just do the front flip. And she's like, no, I don't want to run into you guys. They're like, just do it. And that went on for like 10 minutes. I'm like, no, if she doesn't want to do a front flip, she doesn't have to do a front flip. And it was getting annoying, so I just did one myself just to stop the situation. But I was like, no, you don't control her. She'll do a front flip when she wants to. Mm-hmm. And then the second time where there was this boy on the trampoline, and these other kids were like jumping on the trampoline in a circle, like kicking him. And so I went over to him and I knelt down on my knee and I said, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, but I ran to my mom. We ran back to my tent and I went, Mom, there's these kids on the trampoline kicking this one kid. What do I do? And she said, go see if he's all right. I'm like rushing back from like as if the whole world is like ending. And I jump on the trampoline, get down on one knee, and I say, are you okay? And he luckily said, okay, I'm fine, but my heart was pounding. But it's important that you make sure that everyone else is okay. And before assuming the situation, just ask the person if they're okay. And if they're not, do something about it.
Right. Sounds like you're a really wonderful friend. I bet you have lots of friends, right? I bet you do. I mean, so let me also share with you that the stories that you just told the audience and me, those stories will never, ever, ever leave you, Neva. When you're a grandmother, you will still remember those stories.
I will.
You will, because I remember when I was in second grade, and there was a girl named Olivia, and she was very, very thin, and she had, I don't know why, but her teeth were on the green side. She had a little bit of green on her teeth. I don't know why. And so the other kids were always teasing her. And
that's mean.
And so I remember jumping in and saying, she cannot help it if she's skinny and has green teeth, and leave her alone. So, and then I took her as my friend, and, maybe it wasn't the perfect thing to say, because one thing about being young, still being a kid, is the honesty, so even if someone's wrong, at least they're saying how they feel a lot of the time, so she then became my friend, and I felt powerful for stepping in and not allowing other kids to hurt someone's feelings.
That is awesome. I agree.
I think that's why you and I are friends, because same tribe, right?
Yeah, I agree. So I think we have to do Super Neva questions, but first, do you have any questions for me or Murphy?
Well, first I want to apologize, Murphy, for calling you by your middle name instead of your first name. So, Murphy Jackson. So anyway, but no, I'm having fun. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, I agree.
So much. Okay.
All right. So the first Super Neva question is, what is your favorite color?
The color I am wearing, and that's why I wore it today, which I call magenta, is my absolute favorite color. Yes.
Yeah. Murphy's favorite colors are orange, blue, black, light, and green.
Why orange? I'm getting a feeling orange would be his color. Something's telling me, something's screaming orange. I'll have to figure this one out. But anyway, yeah, I agree.
What's your favorite animal? Oh my gosh.
My favorite animal. God, I love so many of them. I love
You can say all of them if you want.
all of them. I love, God, I do. I mean, can I show a couple of my power cards so you can see animals?
Yes.
So here we have, this one's appreciate, the word A for appreciate. So we've got a lion and a mouse. And on the back,
Aww.
I appreciate who I am, my family and friends, and who I will become. Then we have a horse. I love horses. And this one's the word noble, which is an old word. And it means being awesome, honorable, loyal, and brave, and doing the right thing. So you are loyal and noble. And then here's one, two fish. Do those count as animals? Not really, but.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Anyway, this one is the word sincere. True friends share the truth with kindness, trust, and care.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Friendship is built on trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and here's one that has a tiny little monkey crawling on a tree.
Oh, I can't see it.
Like a little spider monkey. Can you see him on the tree? He's right there. Right here.
Oh, yeah, I see him.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is the last card in the deck, and it's zest. Zest is like an energy, spirited enjoyment, like living a life with zeal and having a sense of fun or enthusiasm. So having that sense of fun is so important, you know? I mean, right? Our attitude really kind of rules how our day goes, I think.
Agreed.
So can I make one more comment? Like, let's say you're having a great day and somebody comes along and says, you know, I don't really like your hair.
That happened to me. Oh my gosh, that happened to me.
Oh my gosh. Maybe
this woman, when my parents and I were going to Burning Man.
Yeah.
It's a 14-hour drive. And this woman, we were at this like fast food restaurant just getting some food. This woman says to me, why couldn't have you dyed it pink? And I'm thinking to myself, well, I didn't say anything because I honestly just wanted to order because I was hungry. And I was thinking to myself, because I didn't want to. And like, pink's not my favorite color. I like turquoises. And so that's why I dyed my hair that color. And then I was like, okay, there's some things that are the truth and there's some things that are hurtful. That was hurtful.
It was hurtful, and probably she wanted to call you out on something, right? So
just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you should take it out on a that time 7-year-old.
But being prepared, I know, exactly. But, you know, now that you're a little older, you can look back on it and say, hey, you know, that lady was having a bad day. So instead of taking offense and having your feelings hurt, what you can say is, gee, that's an interesting thought. Thanks for noticing my hair. Have a great day.
Exactly.
See, so you spin it differently.
Exactly.
You know, you don't. And can I tell you a story about my daughter when she was?
Yeah, it's 1:26 right now.
Oh, okay. So we have a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you this one really quick. So my daughter was bullied by mean girls. And my daughter's really beautiful. And it's not me just saying that as her mom. She really is. She's as beautiful as you. Okay. And so anyway, she was invited she was bullied so much I had to switch schools and put her in she was in middle school,
Wow.
Yeah. And
so
at the new school, she had these new friends that invited her to a fun party, like dancing, and then the night before was a slumber party, and it was really cool. And so she was so excited to be invited. And then right before the party was to begin, like a couple days, she said, Mom, I don't think I want to go because the mean girls from the other school, some of them are going to be there at this slumber party. So you know what I told her? I said, well, you know what they may do. They may be mean to you. They may say something rude or offend you, or they might ignore you and not include you. That's another way of being mean. And so you already know what they're capable of, so you'll be ready for them if it happens. So if they do bother you, I want you to look them in the eye, no more than 15 seconds, because you don't want to connect too much with their energy. And you inside your brain think, well, whatever they're saying to you, whatever rude thing, you're not taking in what they say, but instead you're thinking about something really cool, like going to a concert and maybe getting back passes to go, meet everybody in the band, and go and maybe take a limousine ride with your friends and stop at Nordstrom's for new clothes on the way. Something that would really be like, wow. So she said, Mom, that's really corny. That's silly. And I said, well, you asked my advice. That's my advice. And so anyway, she went to the party and she called me the next day. She was sitting in a limousine. And she said, we're on our way to go shopping. And I said, my goodness, you are really creative. You're more powerful than I thought. We were just talking about that. And she goes, Mom, you're on speakerphone. So I said, okay. So when she came back from the party, she said, Mom, it happened just like you said. The mean girls tried to pick on me, and I took your advice. And I said to them what you told me to. I thought about something really cool instead of what their mean words were. And then after the 15 seconds, which I told her to do, she said, I'm sorry you feel that way. Maybe we can talk about this another time. And she left. And guess what? It worked like a charm. They became friends again.
That's awesome.
So she really wasn't listening to their rude, mean comments that were trying to pull her power. She just stood in her power and thought about something happy, and then looked at him with compassion, like in her brain, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. But she just said, you know what? I'm sorry you do feel that way. Let's talk about it another time. Very happily, she walks off. And because they weren't able to pull her power, she became a magnet, and they wanted to be her friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's a true story. So that is how anybody can act if they feel like someone's picking on them. Have compassion. Hope that person has a better day.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think we have to do funny FaceTime, and then we have to sadly wrap up. But I have one more question.
Yes.
Okay. How did you get involved with empowering kids?
Well, my background, I'm already a family therapist. And then I decided I love kids, working with kids so much and helping them, that I became a school psychologist. And I loved doing that, because then my daughter and I, when she was little, we could go to the same school together, have lunch together, that kind of thing. It worked out really well. Yeah. And then after she started getting bullied, I felt so sorry for her that I really investigated it. Like, what's going on with all this bullying business? And
why is that happening?
I mean, it happened when I was a kid, but it seems to be getting worse, especially with internet. She was really being bullied on the internet, and that is cyberbullying, exactly. And that's hard to control it, unfortunately. So that's when I went back to a big conference in Florida, and I was sharing my daughter's story, and they asked me to come back and speak at their conference. So then I thought, wow, I should write a book. And I did. Yeah. And then my daughter made the cards. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
that's awesome. So, are you ready to do funny FaceTime? You have to make your funniest face in 3, 2, 1.
Just one face? I have so many funny faces I could choose. Oh, God.
Okay.
Gosh.
Well, would you like to join us in the sign-off? All right. Remember, kids, we all have superpowers, and we can change the world.
Thanks for listening to the Superpower Up podcast, Superpower Kids Edition. Go now to superpowerkids.com and discover your superpowers today.